Hello, everybody. Welcome to Comics on Comics. I'm Max.
I'm Oscar.
And this is episode 9, Attack on Titan, where we read Attack on Titan volumes 1 to 3. But before we get into that, we are going to do our typical life discussion, debrief, safe place, really, for Oscar and I to express our heartfelt emotions.
You guys are lucky that I'm doing this, because right now, I am in the middle of the last chapter of Full Metal Alchemist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really, really wish I wasn't here. This is a testimony to how important this is to me.
I could be doing one of many things right now, such as writing an essay, or writing a different essay, or rewatching Doctor Who.
Or doing crack. That's always an option.
That's always an option for everybody. I think most people would, at all times, rather be doing drugs than whatever they are doing.
What if what they're doing
is drugs,
yeah,
and they don't want to do harder drugs? That's fair. If someone's already doing weed and they don't want to do crack.
That describes me. This episode, we have Sprite.
Yeah, we do have... We both have a Sprite. Coincidentally, by the way.
Sprite didn't reach out to us. I know that's what you were thinking.
We would say yes, though.
I don't know.
Would you not say yes to a sponsorship by Sprite in the holiday season? We could become the new one of Sprite Cranberry.
Yeah, what if they make us drink Sprite
We could become the new one.
But doesn't everyone hate that ad?
People liked it for a solid amount of time, though. Now they hate it. Notability is notability.
Do you have any other life updates?
I had a pretty good week. Started taking my meds every day. Been waking up.
Crazy the correlation there.
Waking up for all my classes.
Is that true?
Yeah, so far this week, yeah. I mean, I woke up for some classes and then just made a conscious choice not to go. But I feel that that's
very different.
Very different.
I had all the workings of a bad week, but I'm not in such a bad mood.
I think it's also because this podcast has really helped nurture our lives. It's really added a lot.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I think we get into many fights because of this.
But compelling fights.
I guess fights that we come out better for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Not come out of the closet better for.
If you come out of the closet, you're never better for.
Oh my god, I have a complaint about today. I went to the new pizza place.
Next to the Heavenly Market?
Oh, not that. Is it the same one? I don't know. It does go deep. It's called, Nah Slice or something.
Where is it?
It's on Waverly.
No, it's not. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, and it was I walked in and I just ordered a plain slice and it was $3, which I didn't know, but it was too late.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just bad. It was one of those stupid fancy Italian, they imported it from Italy.
The cheese doesn't cover all the sauce. Yeah.
It was just bad. And I was really upset.
Yeah, I think the perfect price for a slice of pizza is $1.50 nowadays.
Yeah.
The dollar slices they're just bad.
They're not good. They for certain contexts they make sense though.
But the $1.50 slice is
it
tastes good enough. It's still cheap. I mean, come on. $1.50, that's the new
5 cents.
Yeah.
A nickel used to buy you candy, now it's $1.50.
Nickel used to buy you a fucking house, dude.
If you could go back in time to start just investing, how much would you bring with you?
To start investing? What does that
just
mean?
To put in a bank account and then come back to 2023.
All of the money that
the money that you have, you wouldn't keep any? What if you going back in time destroys the timeline, and then when you get back, that bank account is broken, and then since you put all the money back in time, the money that you have in the present, you've nothing left.
In the future where my bank account gets destroyed,
mm-hmm.
I probably won't have a use for money anyway.
Not necessarily. What if the banks collapse, but then we reform a better new society? Except because you left, they don't like you. So it's not better, it's just new.
Write a book about that.
I think it would sell really well.
It's virtually risk-free because I could just go back in time again and stop myself from doing it.
Well, it's especially risk-free because we're 19. And our money is $4.
Yeah, if I started from 0, it wouldn't be that different.
Yeah, I have $5. But anyways.
You know what? Did you see my text, by the way?
What?
I think we should get Mike's therapy gecko.
Oh yeah, I did see your text.
Do you know therapy gecko?
No, that's why I didn't respond, because I don't know them, and I thought you wanted me to know them.
No, it's
Wait, is it a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
We cannot talk about them.
Okay, I'll start over.
You cannot describe it to me.
The microphones that you use on stage and stuff.
Oh!
You can just use them for that.
Yeah, sure, yeah. The clip-ons?
No.
Yeah, sure.
I think that'd be fun.
Sure, yeah. That sounds good. So look forward to that, guys.
Fuck Therapy Gecko.
Fuck Therapy Gecko, whatever the fuck that is.
It's really good.
Is it really good?
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
It's a guy
Yeah.
who paints his face green
Oh.
and goes into a gecko outfit
Oh.
and then takes calls from viewers
Oh.
and is really fun.
That's insane.
I'll show you some clips after.
Sounds funny.
It's really funny.
Okay, do you want
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah? Oh, yeah.
It still will be Hanukkah when this comes out by a day.
Oh my god, yeah, because there's 8 days.
And
This comes out in a week. Wait. No, it doesn't. Comes out 8 days from now.
mhm.
Yeah. So, after sundown, too.
Happy
Okay.
Death of Hanukkah.
Yeah, okay. So it's just not Hanukkah anymore when you're watching this. It just fully isn't.
Not that you care.
No, there's no way that you care.
Mm-mm. If you like Attack on Titan,
I read that. I read an article where people were saying that.
you don't know enough about the series to know why people think it's anti-Semitic yet.
Yeah, I know, but part of the article I read was people saying that because the humans in it are German. So that immediately made me feel like, okay, this must be like a loose, like not very good thing.
Later in the series, a big part of it comes... There's armbands.
Right, yeah.
And,
That's what it
and
said.
People...
And I'm like, okay, if someone
Yeah.
was given armbands, then obviously it's an allusion to that, but it doesn't mean the whole book is about that.
It's also... We'll get into this when we are way down the line with Attack on Titan, okay?
What if we don't get into it when we're down the line? There's not going to tell you no.
No, but we should.
But what if we don't?
It'll be staring at us in the face. You will want to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't know how to express this to you. I think it's worth mentioning. The Sprite got to me.
That was crazy. Oscar does not drink a lot of soda.
No, I don't.
I drink...
I drink Fanta and Sprite. That's it.
One time we were in a bodega, and Oscar wanted to buy one of those glass bottles of Fanta that's like $3 extra for some reason. And Oscar was like, should I do this? And then Oscar didn't.
No, I didn't, obviously.
That's the story I wanted to tell.
They're always flat.
Yeah, they're not good.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's worth mentioning. Max and I have talked somewhat extensively about this already.
I would not say extensively.
It was like half an hour.
Yeah, with zero details.
Sure.
And only vague
But
threats.
it's going to... it's going to affect this.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know.
Yeah, I had a very intense reaction to it at first and was very unhappy. I don't know. I didn't like it. But I reread it after because I was still awake. So I reread it. And I still think the first 3 volumes are really bad. But it's fine. I'll keep reading. The plot is interesting enough, I guess. But
You don't have a choice. If I say you're reading it, you're reading it.
But the first 3 volumes... This guy does not know how to make a comic book.
No. But I think that's mostly an issue with the art and the paneling.
And the
Not so much-
pacing.
Not the plot so much.
Sure, but all those stuff you just talked about is what makes it a comic book.
It's important, yeah. Yeah, I was noticing that as well. Do we want to start talking about it?
Yeah.
I thought it might be good to talk about it one volume at a time.
Yeah, sure. Volume 1.
First volume just throws you in.
Doesn't make any sense. It makes literally no sense.
What happened in the first volume?
I
What
have-
was it about?
Okay.
What was it about?
So the first volume opens, and, like, I couldn't figure out because... So it seems like the first volume tries to give you a little background of when the first time, like, 100 years ago, the Titans attacked the humans and they formed the walls. But then it just jumps to 95 years later, or it was always in 95 years later, I can't tell. And also, it might not be 95 years later, because they keep saying 5 years after the attack, which was after 100 years of peace. So I don't really know. I guess it doesn't matter that much.
Well, the year system is fairly regimented. Like, the year that is mainly happening, I think it's like, 880?
Which doesn't... 800... I don't understand.
It's
They
arbitrary.
said it's 100 years of peace.
It's 100 years since the Titans attacked, yeah.
So, but what was happening 100... But then, what
Just
is...
society within the walls.
But why were they in the walls?
Because they fled to live in the walls when
Okay.
the Titans were killing everybody.
Okay, so... It was very confusing.
I think what it is that they have gone without a hitch for 100 years.
Yeah,
And now there was a hitch.
I have gathered that.
Yes.
And then they jump after the hitch another 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. That part was really weird and not explained well.
Yes.
Because the characters are the same 5 years later.
Well, they look older.
They look older, but they're doing the same... They're like...
Yeah, they're the same people.
They're doing the same things, and the cut, like, if it was a movie, the, like, match cut,
Yeah.
I would call it, is not clear
Right.
the distinction.
Yeah.
So for the whole first volume, I was really confused.
Well, what it actually opens with, though, is a random scene
Right,
of
right.
Survey Corps
Yeah.
attacking a Titan.
Yeah, that's also why I was confused, because I couldn't tell if that scene was supposed to be the first, like, the 100 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and then
It just doesn't matter.
it's just, and also, the Survey Corps. So, it's not an army?
It's a branch of the army.
Okay.
You know how we have, like, the Navy?
And the Survey
Army.
Corps, they go out on surveys.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so,
Then the garrison guards the wall, and
Right.
the military police do all the policing within the walls.
okay. So then, the garrison was guarding the wall that fell.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
What do you mean, why were they guarding it?
I mean, I couldn't understand what was happening, because after Wall Maria fell, they were, like, still right next to it for a long time, and then there was, like, a cart
Okay.
that some guy wanted to push through.
They explained it, but it's confusing. So the wall... This is a frequent feature of Attack on Titan.
A cart?
Isayama, the author, thinks about things a lot. Did you see the detailed explanation about how the ODM gear worked?
Yeah.
It's crazy. He really thought about it. So, he really thought about this. So, where Eren lived is a place called Shiganshina.
Aaron's mom dies in the 5 years in the 5 years ago attack.
Yes.
Okay, she's alive for the 95 years. Okay.
So, there is Wall Maria, which is the outermost wall.
Right.
But Eren lives outside of Wall Maria, in a town, in a little thing.
I think that's what I didn't understand.
So the Colossal Titan kicks a hole in that wall, and then the Armored Titan breaks through Wall Maria.
I don't understand, why did Aaron live outside of Wall Maria?
Because there are these little districts outside of it, so they know where the Titans will come from
I think
if
that's
they attack.
what I didn't understand. So Aaron was never protected then.
They were protected by a wall, but not Wall Maria.
Which wall?
They're walled off sections. They're just little bits off so that they will attract Titans to specific spots so they can focus their military to one spot. Which is a legitimately very good idea, but crazy that someone thought about that for a comic.
Wait, so they're living within the wall still?
So yeah, there's 3 concentric circles.
Okay.
Each of these circles has 4 circles coming off of it
Yeah.
to attract Titans to them.
Right.
And he lives in one of those circles.
Okay. And does everyone live in a circle district, or some people are just
Some people live in the walls.
So obviously
the
you want...
royalty lives in the innermost circle.
Obviously you'd rather live in the wall.
Yeah, it's a whole class thing. He was
Okay.
like the poorest of the poor.
Right. Which was also not totally clear.
Right.
He seems fine.
He's fine.
He
But
seems totally fine.
he's the lowest class of human, yes.
Okay, they didn't tell me that, I don't think.
Yeah. The pacing's really bad.
The pacing's really bad.
Everything makes perfect sense though but the pacing is so bad it feels like it doesn't make any sense.
Because it's just like, that's all that happened in the first volume, right? Like, his mom dies.
Yeah, the Colossal Titan kicks down the wall. His
And the
mom
Colossal
dies.
Titans, like, they've never encountered one before.
No.
It's
that's the
just,
first-
like, really big.
It just appeared.
And it's taller than the wall.
Yeah, it's 60 meters tall.
Yeah.
Which is real big.
Yeah. By the way, this is so random, but I love... In the translation, it says 60 meters, and then there's, like, the little, like... Because meters sound so much cooler than feet,
Yeah.
so they didn't want to put feet in the thing, but they didn't want you to be confused.
Yeah.
I really like
In the
that.
anime, they just say meters.
Yeah,
They're like,
'cause
fuck you.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Meters sounds cooler. But yeah, the first volume was just really confusing.
Yeah. The first episode of the anime
Does it cover the whole
is
first volume?
essentially.
Yeah, because
It's really good.
'Cause
They
of
tell
course
it
they would do
so
it.
much better.
And the art in the first volume is
It's so messy.
really weird.
It's really kinetic. You know those...
Well, because of all the impact lines.
Yeah, and the lines are just unclean, and it's just... This is my take on the Attack on Titan art in the first 3 volumes. I know, very contentious topic.
Is it?
No.
Oh.
They're good drawings, but they're a bad comic.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad artist or anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't know when to... I mean, the panels aren't laid out with any clarity. It's not clear what's happening on the page.
You have to really think about it.
Yeah, it is not clear what's going on the page.
But that drawing is
Sure,
good.
the
But
art itself
connecting
is
it-
fine, obviously.
Yeah.
He's a professional artist, but, like...
Good drawings, bad comic. That's what it is. Yeah. The second volume...
The second volume...
What happened?
I don't really know, because, like, Eren got eaten.
Yes.
And-
And got eaten by Karl Marx.
What?
That's what the Titan looks like, Karl Marx.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, go back to it.
Where? I don't know where it is.
See, this is why.
I'm reading backwards right now.
No, see, this is...
Okay. But that's just for no reason.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
I was just joking.
Eren gets eaten at the end of Volume 1,
Yeah.
and Volume 2
And
is...
Volume 1 ends and it's like, Aaron's dead.
Yeah, but obviously he's not. Because, like...
And he doesn't come back until Volume 3.
I know,
Which
but,
is
like,
crazy.
there's no way you thought he would be dead.
I know
I didn't
everything.
say you. I said you.
I should say this. I've read this manga before, and I've watched the anime. So I know. I know.
Oscar's also drawn fan art. Obsessively.
Only of the women.
Yeah. No, so yeah, at the end of Volume 1, Eren gets eaten, and then Volume 2 is dealing with that, mostly through, like, Mikasa's... Is that how you say it? Mikasa? That's what I was thinking. Like, her point of view, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so you see why
she's so devoted to Eren.
Yeah, like, why she owes a life debt, or... That's how she says it.
She really likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really didn't like that part.
Mm-hmm. This is what we talked about.
It's what made me really upset. Because it's like... Okay, so in the middle of Volume 2... They flash back to her childhood, right? And she's, like, having a really happy day with her family. And then these two sex traffickers walk in, call her mom and dad a bunch of, stuff, just kill them, and then kidnap her. Uh-huh. And then the book is like... And then Eren comes in, violently and viciously murders these two people. And I'm not saying they're good people, but also he's 7 years old.
Well, and then Mikasa kills the third.
Yeah, and they're 7. I don't know an exact age, but they seem around that age. Mm-hmm. And then the book is just like, anyway, that's why Mikasa's like that. I'm like, I don't like that. Like, it's so much. It's so much.
I don't think Isayama doesn't know it so much.
I'm not saying he doesn't know it so much, but I'm saying for my personal taste as a reader, I really didn't like it.
It's really dark. It's really heavy.
It also comes really out of left field, I think, at least.
Yeah.
It's not hinted at all that's
Isayama,
anything that would happen.
He likes showing you how cruel this world is. Like, how he loves...
Yeah.
That's what she says. This world is cruel.
Yeah, but it's just like...
And that fight motif, where Eren just says, like, fight all over again...
He's so fucking annoying.
Big motif.
He's a little piece of shit. Do people like him?
I don't like him. But he is a really good character. But only because of the people around him.
What does that even mean?
He's, like, painfully simple. But he's good at showing...
Right, yeah.
Other people's ideologies, showing them off.
Sure, okay. Is he meant to be the main character, you think?
Yeah. That doesn't mean you're supposed to... He's not supposed to be your favorite.
No.
Armin's supposed to be your favorite.
I don't get what Armin is. He hasn't done anything.
Armin?
He's just always crying in the corner somewhere.
Yeah, that's his character.
Okay.
He's, like, struggles with, like, worthiness.
Because, again, this was a problem
with,
like, the layout of a lot of the fights. Right. I was really confused where Armin was. Because sometimes he would be doing something, and then they would cut, and he's crying, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so, like, Armin... His whole complex is that, like... His friends that can achieve such great things, and the only reason he doesn't achieve great things is because he believes he can't.
Right.
But his friends push him beyond his limits.
That's sweet.
It is sweet. But his friends are Mikasa and Eren.
His friends are psychopaths who shouldn't be near him.
Yes.
And is Hannah dead?
Which one's Hannah?
Wasn't there? There was a Hannah.
Yeah, there was. Probably.
So that was another thing that confused me about the first 3 volumes. That come and go. Was that there's a lot of characters that are introduced. Yeah. They seem important because of how they're placed on the page.
And then they die.
And then they just die. But then they're saying their name like a volume later where it's like, Eren, she died. Because he didn't know, obviously.
Yeah.
But then I also didn't know. I touched Oscar's leg. Knee. So it was just... I think it's also a confusing way to start a comic, because he kind of puts you in most, like, I feel like most comics do this, where they have a point of view character for the reader to introduce them to this world, right? Mm-hmm. But then he takes that point of view character off the field for a whole volume, and then puts him back in and makes him the point of view that the reader's following once again. Mm-hmm. So it's just all really jarring, where it's like, I'm in Mikasa's point of view in the second volume, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe Eren... I mean, I never really thought Eren was dead, but I'm like, okay, maybe he's not the main character.
You're getting thrown around like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing.
One thing that the manga fails to instill in the reader that I think is really important is that's all of humanity. There's nobody else. Titans have killed everybody else. That's it.
Yeah.
These walls of people, that's it.
Well, they do that in, like, the data pages. Sorry, that's what I'm calling them. I don't know if that's what they are.
Yeah, no. But that's how Isayama treats them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's it. So like when they're talking about the stakes where it's like do this or no more humans, like that's like a very the manga's not as good as communicating that weight as I think the anime is.
Yeah, there doesn't feel like a lot of weight, honestly, because also the scale of the town, of the country, whatever it would be, civilization, I guess,
It's confusing.
isn't clear, because obviously they're saying 20% is killed, so now I understand, oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know if that circle that he drew is like 10 houses,
Right.
or like a country size.
I think it's like a country.
Yeah.
As big as you could imagine a walled off place being. Maybe like New Jersey.
Dude, everyone's always like, oh, it's around the size of New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey's the state that you use to compare something that isn't that big.
Yeah. I also think there's a lot of accent lines on the characters, especially around their faces and eyes, which is really good. That's something he sticks with. Like that's probably the defining characteristic of the style of the manga. And that's something that the anime takes too. Like they love putting those lines on characters. And when Isayama's art style gets more reformed and cleaner, those lines on the eyes are such an expressive way for them to show the weight of the world that they're in.
Yeah.
But near the end of this, the eye lines started becoming like more prominent and more noticeable, I think. But that is one artistic feature of this that is just sublime. Like, it's great.
I do think also the impact lines, when we're talking about the fights, are really good, because the fights are supposed to be huge scale, and obviously Titans probably make a lot of noise, or like you can imagine it's like loud and it's destructive, and walls are crashing, so the impact lines make sense.
Yeah.
But then it's like someone's just sitting down, he's also putting in impact lines, so that's the problem.
Dude, Eren punching the head off of that Titan is
crazy.
The most satisfying thing ever.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Because Isayama knows how to make you feel like it happens in an instant.
Yeah.
One panel, he's punching the head off. The next panel, it's in a building.
Yeah, it's cool. The fights are really well made.
Yeah.
Although
he just needs to get better at the other stuff.
What were those pages that were sometimes like they were like completely colored, like inked in?
What are you talking about?
Let me open it up.
Yeah.
I did not like that.
Watercolors.
Yeah, I did not love it.
You remember when we were reading Uzumaki?
Yeah,
it's just like that. Or the shaded.
Does anyone ever like it?
No, I never. Liked
Why do they do that?
Sometimes reading Full Metal Alchemist, they only do colored pages at the end.
Oh,
I think that's
like
way
a reward.
Better. I think it's way better.
Yeah,
especially because they at the end. The author kind of likes to do like a little like recap thing, or like just make you hyped for the next chapter. And that's it. So it like doesn't really matter.
Speaking of the author's little thing at the end, did you read in Volume 1 his questionnaire?
No.
Okay, well he was asked what his fetish was.
Oh yeah,
and he answered.
What did he say?
I don't remember. Let me pull it up.
I think I skipped it because it was so many words. Sorry.
Isn't that crazy to answer that?
Yeah, I just didn't.
Okay,
read this.
Mr. Say it again.
Isayama.
What is your fetish? I have a body hair fetish. And then it just moves on.
I think that's a
And then the next thing is, how do you get over those times when making manga gets tough? It just moves on.
I think that's called being a normal human being.
Yeah, so
liking body hair, that's like what you're a caveman. Good for you.
But also, why did they put that at the end of the book?
It's way more normal over there to talk about that. It's weird. It's weird.
I don't know. I do really like the data pages. I'm calling them data pages because that's what they call them when they do it in X-Men comics.
I love the way he addresses them, though. Recently declassified information.
That's what they do in the X-Men comics.
So fun.
They have...
Do you know what it is?
What?
It's like Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
They'll have, like, from the desk of United States, and then they blank out the department, because it's like a superhero department that doesn't exist. It's really fun.
And I'm sure they, like, blank out words.
Yeah, there's words.
But you know what they are.
Yeah, or you don't, and then, like, a year later, an issue is just about one of the words they blanked out, and you're like, oh, that's why.
If you guys haven't read Call of Cthulhu, it's really cool. Because, have you read it?
No, I know about it.
It's so cool. It's like he's so good at it. It's like you went into a guy's office, picked up a bunch of random paper off the floor, and now you're reading it.
Yeah.
That's such a cool way to make a book.
Yeah. It's Foundation does that too, where it's all of Foundation, the like sci-fi series, is a textbook they're making.
It's really cool.
The plot of it is they're making a textbook about the history of the universe.
Really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then the third volume.
Eren
is a Titan.
Eren's a Titan. Okay. But also he dies and he protects people and they're like in his skeleton.
Well, he partially.
No, I know,
manifested
but
it.
I don't understand.
Wait, what do you mean he dies?
He doesn't. When he gets hit, right?
Gets hit.
When he turns into a Titan,
Uh-huh.
and the army shoots the cannons at him,
Uh-huh.
but he's protecting Mikasa and the other person,
Mhm.
and then it zooms out, and the reason they were alive is because he protected them.
Yeah.
Why were they in his skeleton?
Because he partially made a Titan around them. So
He formed it around their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
That's confusing.
He did a partial manifestation of just like ribs and
But
stuff.
does he turn into a Titan? Or is he making them?
At the end of Volume 3...
No, I'm not trying to ask...
pretty clear.
Yeah.
He's like in there controlling it.
But he isn't
But he's not really that conscious.
It's not like Monster Girl, for example.
No.
Where she's just turning into Monster Girl.
No.
Okay.
He makes a Titan, he controls it.
Right, because at the end of Volume 3, obviously everything starts going wrong.
But also at the end of Volume 3, you see him in there. Armin stabs his arm.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Okay, so it's weird. It's almost like a bodysuit.
But he's like not really fully conscious either.
Strange.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he becomes a Titan.
It's interesting.
That's what it is. He
Yeah.
becomes a Titan.
Also, I
really fucking cool. His design is really good.
Really liked that Volume 3, I think it was Volume 3 at least, ended with Jem just saying, "Now we're finally prepared to mount our Attack on Titan!"
Do you want to know something cool?
They did it all the time?
That's not why it's called Attack on Titan.
That's cool.
There's a completely different reason.
That's fun.
That you will not find out for a very long time.
Or ever.
I really want to finish this. It's really good.
Oh no, I'm making the joke that I might just not figure it out. I might just not figure it out.
This series it's really something.
It's not subtle yet.
It's never subtle. This whole time I was reading it, I was so anxious about doing this episode because I am reading it with such different eyes than you because...
Well, yeah. You have to.
There's so much shit. This series is so crazy. I don't even know. Pixies? Commander Pixies? The bald guy? Fucking love that guy.
I was actually a little confused about that.
Uh-huh.
Is he in charge, like, fully?
He is,
Why was he just standing randomly around and the kids just found him?
I think he was just doing other stuff.
And he's just also that kind of character that comics like to do, where he's really powerful, but also just, like, nice. So he's just, like, wandering around.
He's like a crazy old man.
Yeah, okay.
He's a crazy old man who's the highest ranking officer for the Outermost Wall.
Right, okay.
What did you think about the design of the Titans?
I don't know. It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all look so different.
They're all really weird.
And I couldn't tell
it's on purpose.
why they were all so hungry looking. But I guess it's because they haven't eaten humans in 95 years.
But they don't eat humans for sustenance.
Right.
Which I think
they kept saying that.
It's a really cool detail.
But they're also hungry.
They just do it because they want to.
Yeah, I would.
No, but it's a cool detail.
Yeah, it's a good...
This monster, they have no understanding.
Yeah. I mean, they're cool. They're well designed, obviously. They're huge and they're scary. I just feel like they look so weird that I don't know. I want to get into it more before
I like the way he purposely fucks up the anatomy.
Yeah,
like,
they're just really weird.
The anatomy of Aaron's Titan is actually crazy, but it's cool.
Aaron's Titan is really strange, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Colossal Titan, I don't know if you noticed, but its feet look really weird.
Well, yeah, because it kicks a wall, so you gotta notice the feet.
Uh-huh. Do you know? He tells you why those feet look so weird. It's because he's like, it's 60 meters tall. It needs to have weird feet.
Yeah.
How could it stand? It's like, why are you thinking about this? Like,
yeah,
just make it a big guy.
They all really did look hungry, though. All the Titans.
Because they have a million fucking teeth and huge mouths. You know?
Yeah, they do.
I really like some of the art, but I really hate the comic style. I like the paneling is just awful.
It's like critically bad, I think, because it just does not convey the story.
Yeah.
I think it's honest criticism.
It is.
Because
I genuinely don't believe that this was good.
Yeah.
But Attack on Titan is really good.
It's just interesting. How did it, like, I guess in the West, 3 volumes, this bad, you're done. You're fucked. You are fucked.
Yeah, but...
You will never work again, honestly.
But since it's a mystery comic...
Oh, so people... Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, there's so many mysteries. Like, I'm sure you have a million questions.
Yeah, but I'm not invested enough just because of how, poorly done it was.
But I think enough people were just, like, invested in it and kept going.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm curious to think... Oh, and then in Volume 3, what the big plot is, they're trying to plug up the hole.
I think the big plot is that he can turn into a Titan.
Sure, yes. A huge Titan.
Oh yeah, they're trying to plug up the hole, and he's like, "Can I live?" I love how every manga I've read so far, even no matter how extremely horrific it is, the central plot's still something really dumb, like, is this guy gonna be able to pick up this rock?
Well,
And it's 5 issues of that.
well, he couldn't.
Yeah.
Because he just started beating the fuck out of
I know.
Mikasa.
It's, like, really
Were
stupid.
you surprised by that?
Yeah, I did not think that was gonna happen.
What are you making of it?
That he can't control it,
Mhm.
obviously.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not that interested in what the dad's doing. Because I feel like the dad's just gonna be annoying, and it's just gonna be one of those things where it's like...
It's sprinkled in.
Like, he's constantly looking for the answers that his dad left him. But obviously the dad is one of those dads that doesn't care about him. That's not the case. Or not.
Did you read the Levi chapter?
Yeah, I had to, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just not relevant yet.
Well, it was placed in
Yeah.
Volume 3, like, as a chapter in the story.
Yeah.
So I was also a little confused
Levi's just
why
not a
it
character
happened.
yet. And neither is Erwin, but
Yeah, why did it
I
happen?
read it. I don't know.
Nothing even happened. They were just, like, there.
Uh-huh.
Like, literally nothing happened.
Yeah, there's a few key characters you haven't met yet. This rock thing is like so early on in the story, but it's still interesting, I think, because picking up that rock is really proving to be a challenge for them.
Wait, how much time are they gonna... Yeah, they're still... It's
A
like...
volume of the rock.
It's like it's doing that thing that we were talking about One Piece doing. Like,
Mhm.
It's just The Rock. Technically, it's 3 volumes of The Rock, really, because the problem they've been having for all that I've read is that they can still get through because they have to put the Brock into the thing. I know, but you know what I'm saying. Let me
don't
just
know
tell
how
you
to
this
know
right now. I'm not going to remember lore.
Hmm?
I don't remember lore like that.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, maps.
Oh. As long as you know, like, the ring stuff,
Yeah.
like, how
I'm sure I
the world
will.
is laid out.
When have I ever cared about the story of a book we were reading?
There's gay people in this. Did you notice? They're unnamed right now. The women.
No, I didn't. I wasn't on the lookout. I had my filter on.
There was a there was like a girl that was like, "Oh, I'll marry you," to another girl.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah,
Why was that in it?
they're gay.
That's it?
Mhm.
Oh, that's nice.
One of them's not gay yet, but they're gay.
That's not how being gay works.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know.
Today in my creative writing class, I want to tell this story. Because it's very related. A girl who always comes in complaining about her dating life, and she talks to the teacher, she's like showing us texts. I don't know, it's fun. She's nice. But she wrote a poem that was where the twist at the end is that, like, the love story isn't working because the narrator of the poem is gay, right? This girl has said many times that she's straight. But here's my thought. Every man she ever meets, she doesn't like. Every poem and every story she's written, the twist has been the same that I just described.
Pattern.
I have a theory,
Mm-hmm.
which is that dating might be easier for her to date someone else.
Yeah, just someone else.
Just a different sect of people.
Mm-hmm. Sect. Not another word.
That's just, but it's just a theory, you know, it's not, I don't know her that well. It's just really interesting to me.
What else is going on? I redecorated my room. It's like we're in a new studio.
Well, you didn't finish this wall yet, right?
I don't have anything else to put
Because
up.
this wall's really upsetting me.
Why?
It's a lot sadder than it was before.
I don't have anything else to put up.
Do you want to show them?
No. I'm embarrassed. It's terrible.
Do you want to show them that wall? That wall looks really good.
No, but there's no light on it.
We can
Get our Patreon. See what my wall.
get our Patreon. Go to send us a check in the mail. That's how you join our Patreon. You send us a check in the mail.
Our address is 180 Pennsylvania. Is that the White House?
I don't know, but why are you asking them to pay taxes?
That's not how you pay taxes.
Is that not essentially just paying taxes?
You write a check to Joe.
I mean, he is the one that's the boss of it all. If the government is a company, he's the boss.
I don't think he's a company.
I mean, it isn't, but he would be the boss.
Yeah.
A lot of people want us to be a company.
Who?
Most Republicans.
Well, I wouldn't categorize those as people.
Gods. I would pay my taxes by sending an email to Joe Biden with like a PayPal.
He texts me all the time.
Dude, he texts me all the time. I can't read the text. My phone's recording.
He's down bad for me.
He's not not doing well.
He wants me.
He needs everyone.
He's like Uncle Sam.
People are
Isn't it really funny they made Uncle Sam and he
Dude.
wants you?
Yeah.
He needs you, Max.
I know.
He needs you.
I know.
It's very
And then they made Captain America do it.
Do you know what joke I'm making?
Oh.
It's sex.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I would. This episode got political. We talked about Joseph Biden.
That's not his name.
Isn't it?
But it isn't.
Joseph R. Biden or
It-
something?
No one calls him Don Trump. Donnie Trump.
Donnie Trump.
It's Joe.
Hey, Donnie.
Hey, Donnie, let me get a sandwich and just a little bit of poop.
It's so funny.
I was walking to class today and I noticed I had a stain on my pants that was like chocolate or something. I don't actually know what it was. I picked it off before I got to class, but I was thinking, what if someone noticed the stain on my pants and I was like, oh, sorry, it's poop from the poop deli?
I think there's a chance someone would get it.
Yeah, I was
Because
thinking.
TikTok's so regional, right? I feel like people at NYU have to be watching the same stuff as us, which is why they should be watching this. Are we tagging our videos?
With what? New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We.
I could do it.
Uh-huh.
I could do it. My computer would explode.
Recently,
Explode.
I shared a folder with Max called Cock Clips.
Then I responded, love seeing that.
Cock for
Comics,
chickens.
Oh. Comics over comics. Over comics. On comics.
Comics over comics.
That kind of sounds cooler.
That sounds way better.
Comics over comics. We'll get back to you guys on that one.
Fuck.
Over. And then in the thumbnail, it would a little, I don't know what the word is, but when like an image represents what the word is, because it'll be comics over comics.
Fuck. Dude, if you really think about it, on and over. Because it's like, we're just like, that really alleviates us.
Oh my god, comedy over. Which one do we could, never mind.
No, yeah, which one's comedy, which one's comic books?
Yeah. Because it's comics over comics, but which are you saying is over?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question.
And it alleviates us of any responsibility we may feel from. Oh my god. Oh, it's back.
Yay!
Okay. No, but yeah, comics over comics alleviates us of any sort of sensibility that we feel the need to talk about a comic book. Because it's over comic books.
Yeah.
It's just, we're talking, and it's over it's
Plus-
over tea, you know what I mean?
Plus, we can make the transition when this is no longer successful. We can make the transition to like grifting, and we can be comics who are over the state of the comic book industry because it's too woke.
We'll be banned in Florida after that.
We can
We'll transition.
We can become grifters.
Don't you fucking hate it when Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week, we are going to read possibly the most mainstream Western comic we've read.
What was it again?
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So mainstream and so successful and so new that within a year of it coming out, they announced they're making a movie of it.
Wow, probably gonna be bad, huh?
I don't know, the comic's supposed to be really good. I haven't read it. It's one of the biggest comics of last year that I just didn't read because I forgot. That's why.
Do you think we'll ever have enough influence that when we read a comic, it will become popular?
Is there any comic influence? Is there enough people who read comics for anyone to have that amount of influence?
I want to be the god of comics.
The god of comics?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, same. Actually, I want us to be very influential in the comic industry, but I also want us to never do anything but this podcast. Like, we don't make comics, we don't work with anyone, we don't give funding to indie stuff, nothing. We're just making this.
We have guests.
Yeah, sure. We'll have guests. That's all we're doing now.
That'll only happen, though, when we have mics like Therapy Gecko.
Yeah. Sorry. When Therapy Gecko has mics like us.
I love doing that, making it full circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's only for the real ones. You know what else is a full circle? Rock, paper, scissors.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does.
How?
They all relate to each other in a circle. They beat that beat that.
Okay.
beat that.
I thought you meant the motions you make when you play the game.
That's the schema of the game.
Schema, I love that word.
Thank you. I use it a lot in therapy.
When I'm in therapy, I mostly use words such as help.
So loft.
Ready?
Yeah. What?
I don't know. Do it again.
After 9 times and possibly 20 rounds of rock, paper, scissors, you'd think we'd have it figured out by now.
Yes.
It's too easy.